Good morning, guys. Welcome to another Roundtable with Redfin discussion. We have a bunch of Redfin expert agents with us today. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining us. Let's go around. You can just take your name, please, and what area you're at for our audience, where you cover for your real estate area. Rozella, we'll start with you, please.
Hello, I'm Rozella. I am in Washington State, and Steffani and I do Eastern Washington mainly.
Okay, and Steffani is with us, but she's a situation, her video's not on right now. But Steffani, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Steffani Murphy. Rozella and I have been confused for sisters, so for reference, I kind of look like her. And I'm in Spokane, Washington. We service all of Eastern Washington.
Okay, Joy, how about you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us and pleasure to be here. My name is Joy, and I'm in Western Washington as well, in Linwood, Edmonds, Mukilteo, Shoreline area. So I cover actually broad spectrum because I can do up to Bellingham, Skagit County, Whatcom County. Thank you.
We got Northern Washington, Northwestern Washington covered there, and Eastern Washington covered with Rozella and stuff. And then we have Vicky. Vicky, we cannot see you, but we can hear you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. I just started with Redfin. I'm a new agent, transferring from other agencies. A month ago, I joined Redfin, and I'm in the area of Lake Forest Park, but also covers Everett, Edmonds, Linwood, and Shoreline area.
Awesome. Everyone. And we had Sloane join us. Sloane, you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you cover, please? What areas?
Hi. Aloha. Good morning, everyone. I'm currently coming to you from the island of Kauai, and I service Kauai and Oahu.
All right. And Christine, how are you?
Made it. Got a call right at the golden hour, so sorry about that.
You made it. Christine, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what area you cover with your real estate, please?
Well, I cover my territory, Skagit and Whatcom County, but largely Whatcom County. I would say I try to keep it there. It's Christine, and yeah, I've been with Redfin for 3 years. It took a bit of a break, and I'm back. So there you go.
Welcome back, Christine.
Thanks.
Well, thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Marcia is going to read the question that we have for you today and guide us in answering it. Marcia, what have we got today?
Well, what we have here is a bunch of amazing Redfin women. So I don't see any of those Redfin men on this call, John. So
I talked to a couple of them. We're going to get them there sometime, guys. Okay, we will.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks for stepping up. Okay, so here is the question of the week from our audiences. What is the biggest change you've seen from what buyers are looking for in 2025? Let's start with you, Rozella. What kind of changes are you seeing coming from buyers? What they're looking for?
The biggest change I have seen is, well, I guess it wouldn't be a big change, but it's increased a lot, is affordability. It's a lot of it has come down to just making the numbers work. And in that aspect, they're starting to compromise on condition and maybe some of their wants and needs in their home. They're no longer being like, okay, well, instead of having that fourth bedroom, maybe the kids can share a room as long as the budget works. So I think that has been extremely emphasized for our area so far for this year.
That's a great answer. I think we can all relate to that. What about you, Joy? What changes?
Yeah, so I'm happy to see actually more sellers out there. They try to sell and buy. They are not holding up to their old property and say, well, I want to keep my 3% mortgage, and stuff like that. So I'm just happy. I mean, I work with John on going to close a deal like with Home Light program, buy and sell. So it's really smooth transactions. And also, in addition, I see more investors out there too. And then you see more fixer-upper properties coming out of the market. And you do see like like 40 agents' car there. It's just come and go. They don't even, I mean, the listing agent didn't have to hold the open houses. It's just like people come and go. So, yeah, so it's a fun, like, situation, or, it's a phenomena currently out there in the market. So, yeah.
Another good answer. Christine?
Well, it's hard to tell because I just got back to Redfin, so it's a completely different beast than the traditional. Sort of the same as what the others were saying. It's about the dollar and what they can afford. I'm still seeing like customers though that expect the place to be HGTV ready a little bit, but certain homes are just flying off the shelf with review periods, just like before. I think people have gotten over the shock of 2% up to 6% and all that. So people are buying again. They're moving forward.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Sloane Kini? What are you seeing in Hawaii that is a change possibly?
Yeah, thanks for giving me some time to think about it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We've got so many awesome Redfin buyers, and to be honest, they're all coming at it and wanting some different things. So lots of relocating to Hawaii, a lot of that. So many people are flocking to our beautiful island and wanting to retire here. And those buyers are just really excited, and they're actually, it's like they've been planning for a long time. So they're probably one of our most well informed. So they know the area they want to live in, and they were just waiting for rates to change a little bit, and and just the right opportunity. So been seeing a lot of that. A lot of VA buyers coming back into the market, and that's exciting as well. I've got one that I'm going to hook up with Marcia here very soon, and so I'm seeing a lot of that. Also a lot of buys sells too. So I can relate to that. Joy, we had one that we closed, a sale on the Big Island, so inter-island hopping as well.
Yeah.
Sale on the Big Island. Then I think that was maybe, yeah. Anyways, and then a purchase on Oahu. So Hawaii is open for business, and people are coming.
Okay,
What it is, what's happening. Yeah.
If traffic is any indication, they're here. No.
Yes. Yeah.
What about you, Steph? What are you seeing over there? You're
Steffani,
muted.
You're muted.
I know, sorry, and I had a phone call coming in, and technology was getting the best of me. Anyways, so I have buyers that are kind of coming all across the board, but what's interesting is most of them have been renting for some time, or they're relocating into the area, and they're being picky, but not too picky. Like they're very open-minded, but also going back to they want to make sure that their money is going to be invested well. And so I will also say there's a lot of buyers that are willing to allow houses to go or even go back on market too. So I think it's just really, I don't know, just people that are educated, also kind of like Sloane had mentioned too, like these people, they know what they're looking for. They've been waiting and they're finally out here. And when they're buying, like they're ready to go, they will pull the trigger. But if it's not a solid house or a solid investment, then they're not afraid to be like, nope, sorry, I will move on to the next one.
Good. And Vicky, what do you see out there with
I'm
buyers?
here. Oh, I see a lot of stuff going on in this area. Like I said, I'm like 30 minutes from Seattle area. So what I've seen a lot of people relocating from California, the East Coast, Texas. We can expect a lot of people moving and bringing cash. So we think quite a couple of multiple offers and people paying cash. I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
Also, I'm expecting that the inventory is kind of low, and it's going to be low through the spring. Hopefully we get more listings. I talked to a couple investors that they're waiting for their tax season to be over to start looking for opportunities. And of course, everybody's just watching to see what's going to happen with the interest rate.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The interesting thing that's going on in our economic climate with tariffs and all that kind of stuff, and people are very uncertain. We're feeling that with our clients in the mortgage side of things, without a doubt.
Mhm.
So, Marcia, on the mortgage side of things, I did see a survey recently that was kind of interesting, guys. And as a realtors, you can comment on this. It said that I don't remember the exact percentage, but like a third of the people out there believe that you still need a 20% down payment to purchase a home. So we want to educate our clients that there's lots of options with lower down payments, certainly VA, as Sloane mentioned, and you have FHA, which is 3.5% down. You have conventional, which for a first-time homebuyer can be 3% down, and there are a down payment assistance program as well. So there's lots there. But the number one item the buyer said that was stopping them from moving forward was the access to the available down payment. So they thought they needed more, but they also didn't have enough when they thought they needed to move forward. Any comments on that, ladies?
I know for our area, at least, sellers are offering a lot of concessions to help buyers. I know because dollar is so important to everybody. And sellers too, we for a while had circumstantial selling, so they had to move due to work, relocation, deaths, that sort of thing. So sellers were like, all right, let's help the buyers out because we know buyers are really needing it. So we've had that ability in our area at least, or we've seen it to where sellers are definitely helping buyers. I have one right now. My seller's doing 3% concessions for buyers just because they need it, and that's kind of common for our area right now.
All right.
What are you seeing, Sloane? I mean, especially in regards to first-time home buyers and affordability with the buyers that have a low down payment.
Yeah, I think so Hawaii's price point, our median home, single family home is at, I think it's at on Oahu, it's like a 1.2 or close to it, getting very close to it. And this is not a mansion, y'all. This is just a regular house that might need improvement as well. So that being said, even 3% of a down payment is a big deal for buyers. So first time home buyers they will come and start the search asking, do you know of any assumable mortgages? One, that has been a big deal. We get a lot of VA buyers in Hawaii too. So a lot of people are like, do you know any VA assumable loans or homes? And that's how they're actually wanting to sort their properties. Just the other day, I had someone ask me about an FHA assumable mortgage. Is there a way for you to Redfin? Can they just send me FHA homes that are assumable mortgages? So there's a lot of inquiry about how can I save money? How can I save more money out of pocket? Buyers are asking, they are smart. They are asking, are sellers offering concessions? I mean, I've been in this industry for quite a while, and that word concession is usually very, such an industry word, right? That we use. And now to hear consumers, our clients using those same words, it's very interesting. It tells me that buyers are smarter and they are looking for opportunities to have less money out of pocket. We all know the first thing when I ask a client, how much money do you have, are you going to put down? They're like, as least as possible. They don't always understand the ramifications of that. And so that's why I think John and Marcia do such a great job, you guys, of like educating our clients as to what that means and, how much does need to come out of their pocket. And then on the sell side, educating sellers too. My sellers are willing. Some of them are willing because they understand what it's going to take in this market to get their home sold. And so, yeah, I hope that answered the question. Sorry, Marcia, I kind of went on.
No, it's great. What are you seeing in your area, Joy?
Well, so in our market, it's still very competitive, right? So all the listing agents know the market. I mean, they would purposely listed the price low so they can attract more buyers, right? So it's like you have to like add maybe escalate minimum 60K or something like that. So we'll have to talk to the buyer and say, hey, what's the amount you're pre-approved for, right? So you kind of have to work backward. if you have like 80K escalation price there, you really have to look for the property that's lower than what you are approved for, like 70 or 80K, so that you have the
Right.
buffer to escalate. So that's just brutal reality. Yeah. So anyway, so that's a peace of mind that I always like communicate with my clients. And so when they see something, well, 699, that's great, but in the end you have to escalate 50K or 60K. You don't want to lose them because they got discouraged or kind of lost out so many offers, then they got beat up. So we just have to kind of prepare for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll be our question for next time. How do we mentally prepare our buyers that are getting beat up
That's
in
crazy.
advance?
Yeah.
All right. Vicky, are there any other comments you want to make here at the closing of our call?
No, I was trying to connect so I can see you guys, and my computer just got to my office. That's the only thing I was trying to do, but I'm okay. Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one. We'll get you connected then, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Christine, anything you want to add to the conversation at all?
Oh, not really. It's just interesting to hear. I was going to say, like, I know in Joy's area, it's really competitive. Ours is so pocket specific. Like, if it's Fairhaven, you better have cash and escalate. Edgemore, Chuckanut, all of those are still like, like going to the races. But then other ones are similar to what other people have said, where, people are willing to walk away. They're not in a big hurry. It's about the right investment and all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely a market where I still don't like listing homes because I find that 10 times more stressful, like constantly hearing the droves of people of how overpriced things are and struggling with the seller to, get realistic. And so, yeah, it's all over the map here because our territory is so big.
Right. You have a lot of geography there, don't you?
Yeah, I was just going to ask privately, Sloane, what's Hawaii Kai doing? I used to live there and I had a house that was like 450 and I thought that was horrendous at the time. So it's like
450.
Wish I'd stayed there.
Funny. Well, I have a very long and deep connection with Bellingham and Whatcom County, and I actually sold real estate there as well.
Oh, did you?
2006 and 7 and 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my start in Prudential. I don't know if you know. Anyways, Hawaii Kai has pockets as well, so it just depends on where you're at. But in Hawaii, real estate appreciates on average. I don't. So yeah, I mean, Hawaii Kai is doing great. It's a wonderful area. But yeah, some areas are same as you. Some areas do better than others. It just kind of depends on how close or how far you are to the ocean. How close in real estate in Hawaii, it's how the proximity to the ocean, and then whether or not what I call, I don't know, I haven't heard this from other people, but I call it this redistribution of wealth. So Hawaii, we have families that have been here forever and ever and ever, kids that have moved away. So we have a lot of moving to the continent from local families, and then their parents or the elder, their kupuna, we call them, are passing, and then so there's this redistribution of those homes that are going back on the market in Hawaii Kai, in areas like the North Shore, just these kind of really pocketed communities. And these homes are they need help, they really need some rehabilitation. And so in Aina Haina area, the Ridge, kind of the older side of these communities, we're seeing this happen, where then these houses are either being swooped up by flippers or investors, for the most part, put back on the market, turned into the prettiest house on the block, and that regeneration of wealth is starting over again.
I want to come back so bad, but
come on down.
It's busy there. I'm sure thinking about it because I loved it. I just love it. There's kind of where my kids and we loved it so much that my son's on the East Coast and my daughter's here. That's where we go to have a family get together. So
yeah, people love Hawaii. Steph, we haven't heard from you for a minute or so. Do you have any closing comments you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, actually, I would just couple off of kind of what Sloane and she was saying too, with the redistribution of wealth through real estate. We're seeing a ton of that in our area. In Spokane, I don't know, how many people are very familiar with it, but there's a lot of history in this town and on the outlying, areas, because there's a lot of rural area that has been in, families for generations. And then you're seeing people either come in and rehabilitate themselves, or they are looking to then do subplatting. So we have a lot of new development. Rozella and I have tackled a lot of raw land sales recently as well, but then also homes that have, had family members pass. And some of them are, you get a walk in, it's like going into a time capsule, and it's super cool because they're just, straight from the 50s or even from the 30s. I have one closing next week and it's awesome. And my clients love it. And they are, they're not going to touch it until they have to, because it's all completely functional, livable. It's interesting because you could say that it's turnkey, because when turnkey, you're like, yeah, what do I have to touch? Nothing really, technically. But the updating that, Sloan was talking about too, investors coming in and making it one of the prettiest, on the block, that's where that generation is coming into it. Like, they're willing to put some of the work in and make it themselves too, in our area. So it's fun. I like working with the buyers and the sellers right now, just because there's so many good stories. And as we know, real estate happens because of a why, not normally because of a want. So.
All right. So, that reminds me, I think what we'll do on one of our calls, ladies, is we're going to have you all tell your favorite story of real estate and educate people through that, through real world experience. That'll be great. So thank you to our Redfin partners joining us. These are the experts, YouTube audience. If you have any questions, our contact information is going to be on this video. So feel free to reach out to them directly. And if you have any questions that you want us to ask the experts on our next roundtable with Redfin call, let us know that with your comments through YouTube. We monitor our videos there, and we'll ask the people here, and they're going to give you straight up answers, as you've seen. Thanks, ladies, for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.